former Minister of Interior, Tahiri, was accompanied by his lawyer to the Court of Serious Crimes, where he was advised the blocking of his passport will remain. The Minister of Interior for France, Gerard Collomb, praised the government's reforms as positive steps in preventing asylum seekers and fighting organised crime. The Law Commission approved the report on 7 candidates for the temporary chief prosecutor, although only 3 of them meet the legal criteria. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, the 15th of December 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories translated into English 6 days a week. The former Minister of Interior broke his silence simply to say that he would speak very soon. This statement was made to an Aura News journalist by Tahiri after he left the Serious Crimes Court. It was at the court that he came to know about his passport and identity card being blocked, a decision which was made 5 days ago, which renders him unable to leave the borders of the country. For about 30 minutes, the former minister and his lawyer have asked the court to overturn this security measure, arguing that there is no new evidence or circumstance for the court to consider in order to make this decision, as the investigation started 2 months prior. Tahiri said he did not fear any measures taken against him, even arrest, and that he has no intention of leaving Albania since he bears the greatest interest in revealing the truth of the matter. Regarding the accusations that he exited Albania with persons with known criminal links, the former minister told the trial panel that he has never left the country with any person with a criminal record and that all his actions have been legal. The prosecution explained that their request came at this time as the full translations of all material contained within the files was not handed over by the Ministry of Justice until November 21st. Prosecutor Osmani said that, so far, investigations continue to focus on the Italian authorities' file and that if there were new details, they would have been asked of the Assembly to arrest Tahiri as the person under investigation. The investigation into Tahiri from the Serious Crimes Prosecution Office began in October this year. It is expected that Tahiri will face charges for 2 offences, that of narcotics trafficking conducted by a specially structured criminal group and passive corruption of high state officials. The investigation was launched after the media publicised wiretaps conducted by the Italian authorities on a drug trafficking group where the name of the former Minister of Interior was mentioned. The Law Commission approved the evaluation report on the candidates for the Provisional Chief Prosecutor today using only the votes from the majority party. SP MP Bledi Chuchi, who read the report, said that from the 7 candidates in the race, only 3 of them result to meet the legal requirements to be the country's General Prosecutor. 4 of the candidates do not meet the conditions. As such, only 3 of them will pass, said Bledi Chuchi. The candidates who, as per the Law Commission, have not met the criteria to be the General Prosecutor are Archilea Kocha, Artur Selamni, Besnik Muci and Granit Shahu. The Law Commission will forward a detailed report on each of the 7 candidates to the Assembly, while it is the vote of the Members of Parliament who will elect the temporary General Prosecutor. The new head is expected to be approved in Monday's session, which is the last of this parliamentary season. At a joint press conference with the French Minister of Interior, Gerard Collomb, Prime Minister Rama praised the cooperation between Albania and France in preventing asylum seekers and the fight against organised crime. Gratitude for the assistance to prevent asylum seekers and fight against crime, said Rama. The French Minister, Collomb, said that Albania has made positive steps towards finding solutions for these 2 issues. We appreciate the reforms that improve Albania, said Gerard Collomb. Asked if France would support Albania in the opening of negotiations, Minister Collomb said that he was not the one to give this answer. But the fact that President Macron has spoken about the Balkans in Europe is a positive sign. France will support the Balkan region in the process of negotiations, said Gerard Collomb. Collomb said that Albania should continue with the path of reforms, not simply because of EU prospects, but because they are the best for the country. The former Minister of Agriculture, Edmond Panariti, addressed a study by the Albanian Food Authority where concerns have been raised that domestic milk may contain aflatoxins, one of the main causes of carcinogenic diseases. The findings come from analyses conducted on meat, milk and its byproducts, as well as oil, in the laboratories of this institution. From the results of the analyses of the above categories, there were some problems for some of the products. In particular, meat was found to contain high microbial loads, salmonella and colorants, while milk and its byproducts contained high microbial loads and aflatoxin. Former Minister of Agriculture, Panariti, urged the institutions to take action by preventing the situation, requiring the publication of names of brands that have had aflatoxin found in their products. Measures should be taken and names should be published, said Edmond Panariti. The data is a major alert for consumers regarding the direct impact food may have on their health. Now it is up to the National Food Authority and the Agriculture Ministry to carry out verifications of samples and take measures against the subjects that sell such harmful products to the lives of the citizens. The Democratic Party says foreign investments in our country have fallen sharply due to the collapse of the business climate. Democratic MP Gerard Collomb said that this was confirmed by the Bank of Albania, who, according to her, has reported that foreign investments are 4.2% lower than a year ago and about 20% lower than 2 years ago. Unfortunately, Edi Rama's government has attracted zero foreign investments. Albania was and should have remained a strong host country for business due to the low taxes we had in 2013, our legal facilities, our legal security, and the fight against corruption. But this was not the case, said Gerard Collomb. Collomb said the economy is being propped up by investments created during the years of the previous Democratic Party's mandate in government. The data shows that for the 2 consecutive years of 2015 and 2016, the TAP and Devoli projects constituted about 60% of direct foreign investments. Like the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank and the European Commission, the Bank of Albania reports that Albania risks a drought in foreign investment following these 2 major projects being completed, said Gerard Collomb. According to the Democratic Party, the major reason why there are no serious foreign investments in Albania comes down to the 3 C's: cannabis, criminalisation and corruption of the government. The Social Security Institute today began allocating the end-of-year bonuses for pensioners. Beneficiaries can withdraw the amount of 3,000 lek provided by the Albanian government with their usual pension payment at any post office. When questioned by Aura News journalists, many pensioners expressed dissatisfaction with the amount, saying that they would prefer more. "This amount of money is not enough for us," was the sentiment of the dissatisfied pensioners. The elderly complained about the salaries of their pensions, but thanked their children for the financial support they provided, which allows them to cope with their livelihoods. About 650,000 pensioners will benefit from the bonuses. However, the pensioners are only receiving half of the bonus when compared to last year's amount of 6,000 lek. The withdrawal of the bonuses will continue according to the dates that the monthly pension is usually received. Construction of another segment of the Big Ring Road has been completed. This is the segment which starts near the Teg roundabout and ends near the helicopter department in Fark. Minister of Infrastructure and Energy, Damian Jiknouri, accompanied by the head of the Albanian Road Authority, Afrim Cendro, inspected the investments that are being carried out at Tirana's outer ring. He stated that the full completion of the work on the Big Ring Road requires at least a few years. It will take several years for the ring road to be completed, said Damian Jiknouri. Currently, the work is continuing on the segment from Farka to the Auto Tractors factory in Shkoza. This segment will see the building of a tunnel, an overpass for vehicles and underpasses for pedestrians and agricultural vehicles. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.